Hello everyone. I have been meaning to make a vlog for the entire week for a while. This is my first full-time clinical at University of Maryland Medical Center Midtown. So let's get started. Alright, so it is 6:44 in the morning. I'm usually out by 6:30, but today I wanted to try out this vlog thing, so it took me a while to kind of set the camera up, but I have to show up at 8. By the time I get there, it's usually 7:15, 7:20, so I spend about 30 minutes reading this book, studying for the MPTE. This book right here. Shout out to my boy Alex for letting me borrow this book. He took the boards already last year and he passed. Not very fun reading material, of course, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Alright, so I just got off the highway. This is the MLK Boulevard, and this is the road or the street that you'll end up if you get off the highway when you enter Baltimore. Like I said, I start my day at 8 and I usually go until 4:30 or 5. If I'm lucky, I get off early. Alright guys, so I was not able to finish reading 10 pages of the book, so I'm gonna have to do that or finish that up after work. But I got my pen, right? These are the codes to different rooms. Of course, I can't memorize all of them, so I carry it with me. A little notepad to take notes for chart reviews, and then my goggle. We have to wear goggles. And then I got my badge. They say no badge, no work, so I can't forget my badge. All right, and finally my mask, and we're ready to go. All right guys, so it is lunchtime, my favorite time of the day. We saw 3 patients today, 1 in the ICU and 2 in the acute care unit. And here's my lunch. I eat the same thing every day. This is a banana, so I eat a banana, 2 or 3 oranges, and then I eat a sandwich, a nice big sandwich, and a granola bar. So I just find it easy to pack lunch when you're packing the same stuff every day. This is where we eat lunch. You can see it's not a very fancy place, but you know, it has chairs, it has 2 bathrooms, and then this nice view over here. Alright, so a big part of why I'm in the building for such a long time every day, usually 9 to 9.5 hours, is because my CI that I'm working with is a senior therapist, meaning that she's in charge of all the therapists that are part of the rehab team there. But for the most part, for almost all of it really, it's worked out great, because when she has meetings, she's very great with planning things early and she's very organized, and so I'm able to kind of document while she's in meetings and while she's doing senior therapist things. So I was interrupted on the way home by the Squeegee Boys. If you don't know, it's Squeegee Boys in Baltimore. They come spray at your window and they ask for money, and I was like, dude, I have no cash. And he was like, you have Venmo, and he intimidated me, so I got a little scared, so that's why I had to cut everything off. But we're gonna do a quick recap of all the patients that I've seen today. I had 1 eval and 4 treatments today. My eval was in the ICU. She came in because of a heart failure with an ejection fraction of less than 35%, I believe. And she was heavily sedated a couple of days leading up to today. So she still had a little bit of fluctuating alertness today. Wasn't fully aware of what was going on, so we did a general range of motion, manual muscle testing, and then we tried going from supine to sit. Turned out to be a dependent transfer, so she'll probably stick around for a little while. And since this is an acute care setting with treatments, there's a lot of patients that come in for cardiopulmonary reasons, so very important to monitor their vital signs. 2 of my patients came in because of shortness of breath, and one of them respiratory failure, and the other one came in because of CVA. And she actually, I got to follow her since the very beginning. We did an evaluation on her in the ICU. She got downgraded to a post-acute care floor, and that's where we saw her today. So it was good to see progress. Always good to see how the patients progress, and to be able to follow the patients throughout their journey and kind of challenging them a little bit from where they are, because not a lot of these patients are mobile in the hospital. So we did some gait training, we did some exercises with them, some bed mobility, some transfer training. So I would say it was a pretty good day with the treatment sessions and how it went. All right, so I'm home. I just finished dinner. Today is Monday. These are some of the stuff that I plan on doing after eating dinner and before going to bed. Today's Monday. This stands for quarantine exemption paper. So yeah, like it says up here, I am going to apply for quarantine exemption when I visit my family in Korea for 2 weeks during the September break. And so I'm gonna get going and sign these papers and submit some forms. That took much longer than I expected, because I think a lot of people are submitting application as well, but I got it done. It's done. That's great. So now I'm gonna get ready for bed. It's actually only 8:30 for some of you guys that go to bed later. That's super early, I know, but I like sleep a lot. I try to get 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep every day if I can. I'll call it a day. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. So before I get into reading the MPT ebook, today I wanted to talk about 3 things that I worked the hardest on during my clinical rotation here at an acute care setting. Okay, number 1 is lines and tubes management. A lot of these patients are very sick, so of course they have a lot of stuff going on, going into their body and out of their body. You don't want to get them tangled up, and you always want to make sure you know what you're working with. And so that has been a challenge to me, but I have been practicing identifying those lines and tubes. And then the second thing that I have been working on is probing for better answers during subjective portion of history taking. You ask questions regarding their home setup, their medical history, and all that stuff, right? And sometimes the answers aren't very clear, and that's when you have to probe for more information in order for you to be able to kind of see the bigger picture. And it's not always the most comfortable thing to keep asking the same question in different ways, and I know it gets annoying, but you know, it's something that you got to do, and I've been working on it, so that's been good. And then the last thing I want to talk about, number 3, is kind of an extension of lines and tubes management, but now looking at the entire room for when you have to mobilize these patients and get them out of the bed and maybe go out in the hallway and walk, or go to the stairs and do some stairs. Yeah, so those are some of the things that I've been working on. If you have an acute care rotation, or if you have experience working in acute care, please let me know in the comments down below what you think are some of the things that students should be working on during their acute care clinical rotation. All right guys, so I got off a little early today. That's always good. It feels good to kind of beat the traffic and get home earlier than usual, so I have the rest of the day. So let's do a quick recap of some of the patients that I saw today. I did 1 eval today, and there was a lot of cancellations today. I think we had 3 to 4 cancels. So the eval that we did, it was an ortho eval. I like ortho evals because I like them. They're pretty straightforward, and most of the times it's the knee or the hip. And then the treatments, like I said, a lot of cancellations. 1 canceled because he just refused, straight up refused twice. Another lady, she was getting dressed, and then she was eating. So yeah, sometimes it's kind of like this. You just gotta roll with the punches, I guess. All right, so time to go in, get some rest, get ready for the next day, work out, see what happens. Alright guys, so I'm about to get some workout in. I got this 25-pound dumbbell with me. I'm gonna work on chest, buys, tries, and maybe shoulder today, and then do some cardio because last Sunday I played in my neighbor's Sunday league and I couldn't keep up with 30-40-year-old guys, so I gotta work on my cardio, at least start to work on my cardio. Alright guys, so that's another wrap for another day, another dollar. So like you saw, I worked out, helped carrying groceries, had dinner, you know, took care of some other stuff, and boom, it's already 8. So I'm just gonna relax for an hour and a half ish and go to bed early like I did yesterday, like I do every day. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm not sure how many of you guys follow soccer, but yesterday was the last day of the summer transfer window, and I support Barcelona, and it looks like Griezmann left to go to Atletico Madrid very last minute. Definitely didn't expect that to happen. I also saw Ansu Fati got number 10 at Barcelona. Just, I don't know, it might be too soon, you know. So we have 7 floors in this hospital. First floor is lobby. 3, 4, 5 is patients, where the patients are. 6 is psych unit, and 7 is where I'm going, and that's where all the offices are. And physical therapy office is there as well. Okay guys, so it is Thursday. We just have one more day to go. I did want to touch on a couple things before I head in to start the day. So for our PT program, we have student projects we need to do for every clinical rotation, whether that be a literature review or a in-service presentation or a case report. We have to do one. And the topic that I'll be discussing is specifically related to ortho patients that we see here, post-op ortho patients. I'm comparing standard hip precautions for total hip arthroplasty versus no hip precautions at all, and how that determines the dislocation rates 6 weeks to 6 months after getting the surgery. There's a lot of recent evidence and research that shows that the hip precautions don't really make a big difference in preventing dislocation. And another thing I wanted to do today is answer those questions that I received on Instagram. So I'll start with the first question. Do patients get mad at you? And if they do, how often does it happen? It doesn't happen that often. I've had like maybe 2 patients get grumpy at me. I think the right mindset is not to take it personally, because it's not. Okay, moving on to the second question. And I promise I'm not making these questions up, especially this one. It says, why are you so handsome? I don't know, man. I don't know how to answer this one. The last question is, how do you juggle with full-time and a long-distance relationship? We actually live pretty close to each other, like 20 minutes apart. I think she just said this because we've been really busy with clinicals. It's kind of like everything else where you have to balance all aspects of your life. And so I guess that's been a constant learning and process to figure everything out and try to balance everything, but it's not a long distance relationship. Alright, what's up guys? I'm wearing the same scrub every day, so it looks like I'm filming on the same day, but really today is Friday. It's already Friday. It's been a pretty fast week, and I gotta admit, I have been a little lazy with filming on Thursday and Friday, so I pretty much didn't film at all. I guess filming for an entire week is more difficult than I thought, and this was my first time doing it, so that's a good lesson to learn. But if you guys have watched it to the end of this video, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very, very much for sticking around till the end. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully with a vlog, maybe that'll, you know, I'll be able to film for an entire week. But we'll see. All right, thanks guys.